Okay. That is good. Well, here we are, 5:15 in the morning Central Time. I'm just doing a test of broadcasting on YouTube with using the Zoom app. Hopefully at some point in the future. Hang on just a minute. I got to redo my camera here. Take off this tripod right now. Leave the tripod on the desk. Anyways, I'm just testing this out. Hopefully, in the future, when we get a few more followers, we can do interactive chats, not just with the viewers in chat. Hey, Garth. But like I say, hopefully in the future, as we get more followers, the show will be more interactive, to where not only can you participate through chat, you can participate through Zoom. Kind of call it like something similar to radio talk show, but with video. You don't have to come on with video. You can just do voice, but it gives the audience a little bit more chance to interact. And that's basically what I'm looking for with this channel. I want it to be a very viewer-oriented broadcast. I want to interact with the people that view the chat. And as I do this to learn and as a hobby. And people will either watch or they won't. It's, mainly for me to broaden my horizons, so to speak. Being retired, being disabled, I spend most of my time right here in front of the computer and call it my link to the outside world. And that's mainly what the channel is going to be about. Me getting to know different people, me interacting with different people, and basically just enjoying spending time with all of the people that follow me. Let me see here. Oh, hiccups. I hate the hiccups. see. I'm gonna try this, see how it looks with my other account. I don't know how my internet is right now. I'm looking at possibly making a change as far as my internet goes to hopefully improve the quality and be able to broadcast uh, at different times throughout the day rather than having to limit myself to very, very early in the morning or very, very late at night. Uh, just due to the fact my DSL sucks. I live out in the country, not close to town, and it is a rural county in the state of Mississippi. So let's just say the infrastructure of the internet is probably, I don't know, 40 years behind the time. I mean, uh, I'm one notch above uh, dial up internet. So I'm going to have to do something if I'm going to continue uh, broadcasting. I'm going to have to do something, whether it be switch to satellite, which I'm seriously considering right now, because at least with satellite, there's going to be some lag involved. Wouldn't be worth a darn as far as me playing online games. That's not even a question. There's just too much lag uh, with satellite, but it would help as far as YouTube goes, and just having a smooth stream at, I don't know, hours of the day that people are actually awake and looking at YouTube rather than 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning. So, like I say, if you're checking me out, I appreciate it. I see there's 3 of you watching right now. Garth is one of them, which it's kind of neat in a way that I'm talking to somebody that's halfway around the world down in Australia, down there where he deals with kangaroos and whatnot all the time. So that's kind of fun. He also does RC racing. I hope he doesn't mind me putting that information out there. As for me, I spend a lot of time messing around with computers, gaming, I fish, I hunt. I can go right out my back door and go fishing or hunting at any point that I feel like that's something I want to do. Which, granted, you can only hunt during rain. We've been getting a little bit of rain here, but not too bad. Let me see what the forecast is for today. Where I'm at, we get our local TV out of Mobile, Alabama. And right now it is currently 54 degrees in Mobile. And The forecast is for scattered showers and fog tonight, cooler and breezy tomorrow, which is now today. So, let's see. Let's look at what the temperature forecast for today is now that it's after midnight. Oh, wow. Let's see. Going to have a high today of 56 degrees. Then Monday, high of 48. Tuesday, high of 47. And then we get back into the 50s and the 60s. And hopefully by the next weekend, get up close to 70. So that's a little bit cooler than my taste. I mean, that was the main reason I moved down here, was to get away from the cold weather that I dealt with up in southern Illinois, around the St. Louis, Missouri area. I worked in St. Louis for many, many years. I guess about uh, roughly close to 25 years I worked at a downtown St. Louis, uh, driving a truck. I was driving a truck locally for, let's see, you might as well say I drove local for, well, let's see, from 1996 through 2010 when I had to retire because of my back surgery that went horribly wrong. Before that, from the first week of January 1988 to January of 1996, I drove over the road trucks. So that was always fun. If you believe that, I got a bridge in Brooklyn I'd like to sell you. I mean, it paid the bills. It had its perks. I didn't have a boss looking over my shoulder constantly. As long as I made it from point A to point B in the time allotted me, they didn't really bother me. Of course, my home life suffered. Basically, that's kind of what caused my first divorce. I shouldn't say first divorce. That's what caused my divorce. I am still married to my wife, uh, working on 23 years come the end of this year. She must be some kind of a saint to have to put up with me all these years. I mean, I'm not an easy person to live with. But then again, sometimes she's not an easy person to live with. We all have our moments, every one of us. Ain't none of us completely innocent. Uh, let's see here, just looking around on the internet to see if there's anything interesting going on right now. I see where Hong Kong is still got all the protests going on, which I really hope for them that the protest actually accomplishes something, but honestly, I don't think that they're going to beat the Chinese. That's just my opinion on it, anyways. Yeah, let's see. Grub truckers. I have no idea what that is. National Weather Service. Chicago wind chill readings range from -10 to -20 this morning around Chicago. Let's see. That's not interesting. This ain't really interesting. Here's something from the BBC News World. Heavy rains and thunderstorms have doused fires on some of Australia's east coast, which has been badly hit by the bushfire crisis. Unfortunately, that's the east coast where Mr. Garth is. He's on the western coast. I believe you're over around the Perth area, correct, Garth? That's basically the area of the country that the Western starring Tom Selleck was uh, set around that part of Australia. Oh, there's Contao Creek. Good to see you in there. Okay, let's see. Anything else going on? Snowplow and GM. AP. 8 people have been killed in a fire at an asylum for the mentally ill in the Czech Republic. That's a shitty deal. National World War II Museum. The bodies of the 11 Ukrainians who died when an Iranian missile shot down a passenger plane arrive in the Ukraine for a farewell ceremony. That's from the AP. That was tweeted out 15 minutes ago. Let's see. Eating potato chips and drinking coffee in Bailey's. Hey, you can't beat that. What was you watching on roughly the Ukrainian people, or I should say the bodies of the Ukrainian people returning? I don't know if you can hear that faint buzzing sound, but that's the sound of my water cooler on my computer. Yes, we have football today. How many of you is going to be watching the NFL championship games today? I know Mr. Mark Hilton will be watching them. I know Rusty G, he's a big 49ers fan. If I still watch the NFL, I'd probably be back in the 49ers. I guess mainly because I'm California native. Harry and Meghan cast out. Who cares? I'm sorry, but the royal family holds no interest for me whatsoever. Of course, that might be because I'm an American and we ain't got no royal family and we don't need one. There. So much BS on Twitter. Strong winds caused ground blizzards in western Minnesota on Saturday. Go figure. It's Minnesota. Kind of like everyone making a big deal about these winter storms across Canada and the northern U.S. I'm sorry, it's winter time. You're supposed to get the storms. That's what happens in winter. Not much going on news-wise that I'm seeing, but that's a good thing. Looking at a weather map of the U.S. showing today's high temperatures. The high in Bismarck, North Dakota is going to be -2 for a high. Omaha is going to be 9 degrees. And Minneapolis 12, Chicago 17. Those are all high temperatures. Of course, down here we're going to be in the 50s. Miami's going to be high of 80. How I wish I was in Miami today. Yeah, you can keep all that snow, Contell Creek. We don't need that. I mean, somebody's got to have it, so it might as well be you. Here's some video of some riot police being heckled in Hong Kong. Go figure. A lot of my car stuff on here. What's this here? Oh, that's... starting to get tired. I don't know why, just because it's 5:37 in the morning and I've been up all night. Hong Kong police fire tear gas at public park that was overflowing with thousands of protesters calling for electoral reforms and a boycott of the Chinese Communist Party. And that was an hour ago. Most of these others tweets that I have on here is much older than that. So that's done there. Let's go over here. Not really a whole bunch going on our local news. Go figure. Be really sad if I showed you our local newspaper here that comes out once a week and might be 10 pages. And that's with a lot of fluff. So let's check national news with Fox News. See if anything's going on there. Not really into ultimate fighting. Iowa Democratic voters undecided in final caucus stretch. Well, there's no surprise. Harry and Meghan lose official titles, will no longer represent the Queen. Okie dokie. Facebook apologizes for vulgar translation of Chinese leader's name. Another one of our American companies bowing down to foreign powers. Holy smoke. What the heck? Let's check this out. Moose traps Alaska man inside shed while he frantically calls wife. Doorbell camera captures the encounter. I might have to look at that here in a little bit. Story I'm looking at right now is Utah boy arrested after shooting that killed 4, injured 1. What the hell? Oh, I hate ads. Go away. Injured 1 in the same family. Let's see. Oh, I hate the autoplay ads. I'm about as bad as Steve Lookner. I hate the autoplay ads. Young male juvenile in Utah is accused of shooting and killing 3 children and a woman in Grantsville on Friday and injuring a 5th victim who is now in the hospital. All of the victims are believed to be members of the shooter's family. How old is this kid? It says Utah boy. It doesn't. Looking through here. Not seeing the age of the boy. Just says boy. I'm sure the age is out there somewhere. Boy, I hate some of these. That's one thing I don't like about Fox News is they have comments that you can leave comments on the news website, and some of the comments are just plain idiotic. Idiotic. Let's see. Yes, this is true. This is true, Contel and Garth. Yeah, that was an interesting stream. That's for sure. 3 watching. Cool. I know who 2 of them are. I don't know who the 3rd is, but that's okay. You can come in and watch me anonymously. I do not mind. Let's see. Let me go back to Fox News and look at some of these comments. Really? Conservatives think these children are responsible enough to own and use firearms. Biden 2020. Who the hell, looking at that story, would come to that conclusion? Nobody, no pro-gun person is advocating for children to have guns. Simple. Just your typical Democrat trying to spin things around. Here's another one. Commented, another responsible gun owner. These people wouldn't know what a responsible gun owner actually is. They'd be surprised to find out how many of us there are. And not only that, most gun owners have more than one gun. Out of the 300 million people in the U.S., probably Well, out of 300 million some odd people in the U.S., there's over, over 300 million guns in civilian hands. And there's several, I wouldn't even venture a guess at the total number of gun owners in the U.S. But let me assure you of one thing. If gun owners were the problem, there would be no doubt about that. But 99.9% of gun owners are, one, responsible, and two, not criminals, and three, are never going to go on a shooting spree. It's the others that you have to worry about. The criminals that don't pay attention to gun laws in the first place, and you're mentally ill. Those are the two groups that you have to watch out for being gun owners. And like I say, they're not even 1% of the actual gun owners. This is probably a true statement. Someone commented, I'm betting that this is not the first incident the police had with this family. The surviving family member will tell the tale. As far as I can tell, that's an accurate comment. Not taking one side or the other, just stating the facts. And of course, there you've got the person that has to post, why didn't God save them? That's an idiotic argument. I'm not even going to go into how idiotic of an argument that is. I'll just say that God gave every human free will. Nobody thinks that God's sitting up in heaven with a chessboard moving people around. That's not the way it works. Everyone has free will. They're free to do as they please. They're free to believe or not believe. And so, these simplistic arguments that these people try to use are just that simplistic. Yeah, that's about all for the comments. I mean, there's plenty of comments that I could read out, but you don't want to hear that. All it would do is probably drive me insane. I will look at this story about the moose trapping the Alaskan man. Let's see. Yep, there the guy goes into his shed, and there's the moose. Man from Anchorage. Now, I'm sorry, Fox News, you really have to proofread. It says a man from Anchorage, ALA. Now, most people, when they see the abbreviation ALA, are going to immediately think of Alabama. The abbreviation for Alaska is AK. All right. AK for Alaska. Alabama is AL. Momentarily trapped in his shed after a curious bull moose followed him out to the garbage bin. I bet that's a hell of a deal. Contal might know something about that. He's up there where the mooses roam. Wrong window. Look at this window. Yeah. Nothing new in the chat right now. So let's go back to where we was. Let's look at some of the wonderful comments that are left on this moose story. Da, da, da. All he wanted to do was ask the guy for a spare carrot. That moose looks Russian. What does a Russian moose look like? No clue that the poor thing was stuck in there, she said of her husband. Okay. This is true. This is why people in Alaska are frequently armed. Yeah, I like the way this guy thinks. He says, I would never call my wife in an emergency. She never answers the phone. I have that problem at times. Continues to be true in every circumstance. If you mess with the bull, you get the horns. I agree there that this comment is this guy has better internet service than I do. I definitely agree with that. I have that issue. Okay, just a couple more stories. Let's see. Biden and Sanders trade fire over Social Security. Well, that's not surprising since they're both old enough to collect Social Security. Now this is finally about time. Mexico blocks 2,500 migrants from crossing at the Guatemala entry point. Finally, Mexico's stepping up to do something about all the illegal people just coming up through their country. It's about time. Okay. That's it for Fox News. Let's try. Like I say, this is just a test run. I say the Zoom seems to work pretty good for broadcasting on YouTube. Let's see what. God darn it, my coffee shut off. Always good to have a coffee maker in your office. Let's see, Sky News. They're British as far as I know. They've got lots of royal stuff. Manhunt after boy 10 was stabbed in the street while out with his mother. See, you don't need guns to cause a problem. I guess that's why the British took this knee-jerk reaction of outlawing a lot of knives. But I want to know, if they outlaw all the knives, how are you going to cut your food when you go to eat? You're going to have to use a plastic fork or a plastic knife that'll snap on you. Oh, not a whole bunch on Sky News. Normally they cover more world news than what I'm seeing. U.S. Space Force mocked over new camouflage uniform. Really, that's something that we really have to worry about? I think not. Uh, I don't know. 40-stone ISIS leader arrested in Iraq, but is too heavy for car. Just exactly how much is a stone? I've never understood that about British weights and measurements. Saying somebody weighs so many stones, I don't even, I can understand if they use kilograms or whatnot, uh, or whatever the metric equivalent to the U.S. pound, but I've never understood just how much a stone is. Could be just about anything. Where, okay, there it is. I like to be able to pay attention to where my, well, like I say, not a whole bunch. Whoa, holy smokers. Uh, Perth, yeah, west. Uh, 10 inches. No, seen that, seen that, seen that. Zoom logo on your feed right now, yes. Uh, Right now, I am using Zoom. So one stone is 14 pounds. Now I know. I've always wondered about that. I can post a Zoom link for you guys if you're interested in coming in and chatting. Uh, that's up to you. Let me see. Uh, I would want to put it here. Uh, let's see. I need to go over here. Uh, yeah. Um, okay. Let's see. Go here. Here. Go here. And then I'm gonna go close that. And I will go to this, paste, but I'm not gonna send it. I'll copy that, go up here to random. And there y'all go. There's the meeting ID number and the password. That's if you want to come in and join in. Otherwise, we'd be more than happy to just read your chat. Like I say, this is all just nothing but a test of broadcasting in Zoom. Because I feel that this would be more interactive. Yeah, you posted the little tent. Are you still doing the 21-day challenge there, Garth? Almost said Gooth. Too early in the morning for me. Let's see. Over here. There we go. Let's see. Yes, I want to play a chime when people enter or exit. I don't know if you're seeing the TV flashing on the wall behind me. Yeah, that's got to be the TV that's doing that. Almost makes it look like the cops are outside or something. Oh, I bet they did. I bet they did, Garth. I think it's cool that you take as much interest in your kids' lives to do that with them. 21 days is a long time. Well, you're up early, Contal. I mean, good night. It's 6 o'clock in the morning for me. What is it for you? I know I'll take a nap. Well, it could be, but right now, the computer is pretty steady as far as the light goes. There you can see it a little bit. You're not really seeing the good color there. You might see that better. Green, da. I still like my computer. I'm very happy with Ace. So yeah, I'm real proud of that. I like my pooter. That's what I always call it. I don't call it a computer. I just shorten it to pooter. 7. Okay, so you're 1 hour ahead of me. You're on Eastern time. Yeah, I'm a big Fallout fan myself. I mean, I play 76, but not that often. My two favorite are Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas. Those are my two favorites as far as Fallout games. I can truthfully say that I first got hooked on Fallout with Fallout 1. My brother turned me on to that game, and ever since then, I've been a Fallout player. But it's got to the point where with Fallout, I really have a difficult time anymore playing. Yeah, no kidding. I have a difficult time playing either Fallout 1 or Fallout 2, just for the simple fact. And at that point, games did not have that high of graphics in them and didn't have that good of graphics. Nowadays, yeah, it's very good graphics. It's got a good story to it, most of the games. So yeah, matter of fact, I don't know if it was 2 days ago or 3 days ago, but I started another new character on Fallout 4, and right now I think that character is like level 23 and running around with Nick Valentine at this point. I've got that at least to where I've taken care of Kellogg, and I have to now find Virgil. And I know Garth knows exactly what I'm talking about. And so far in this game, I have only allied myself with the Minuteman, but I get so tired of Preston Garvey's bullshit, it's not even funny. That's great. Another settlement needs your help. Oh, fight me. But yeah, I'm running around with Nick Valentine right now. My last character that I had, I finished off the game and didn't have any more quests left. And that's not only the base game, but I have Nuka World, I have Far Harbor, and all them downloaded. So I've got a lot